There comes a time in life when you realize that not everyone who smiles in your face has your best interests at heart. Not everyone who calls you their friend is truly your friend. But here's the thing, God will make sure you see the truth. He will let you see how fake they were. You'll feel betrayed, hurt, and disillusioned. You'll wonder why you couldn't see it sooner. But listen to me when I say this, God has a way of showing us who people really are when we need to know it the most. He'll remove the mask, strip away the facade, and give you the clarity to see things for what they truly are. Don't be angry at the revelation. Don't fall into despair when the truth comes crashing down. Be grateful. Because sometimes we need that moment to grow, to evolve, and to realize that the journey ahead doesn't need fake faces or false promises. You're stronger than that. There's a moment in every person's life when they go through the painful experience of seeing someone they trusted reveal their true nature. You might have poured your heart into a relationship, invested countless hours, or even bent over backward to help them achieve their dreams. You thought they were on your team, that their intentions were pure, and you believed in the bond you shared. Then out of nowhere, the truth comes crashing down on you. That smile, that reassuring word, that hand on your shoulder, everything you thought was real starts to feel like a mirage. You feel blindsided, betrayed, and for a moment lost. But what you need to understand, what I need you to hear, is that this process, this painful revelation, is not a random event in your life. This is God's way of showing you the truth. And as painful as it may be, it's all part of a much bigger plan. You have to trust the process. When we talk about trusting the process, we are not talking about passive acceptance of what's happening to you. This isn't about sitting back and letting life hit you without response. It's about recognizing that there's something happening beneath the surface, something that's going to lead to your growth, even if it's hard to see it right now. Trusting the process means understanding that sometimes the truth has to come to light in the most difficult way possible. And for you to fully heal, for you to fully grow, for you to step into the fullness of who you're meant to be, that truth has to be revealed. But it's not just about the revelation, it's about your response to it. Think about the times in life when things didn't go according to plan. Maybe you worked so hard on something only to watch it crumble. Maybe you trusted someone and they let you down. Those moments are devastating, but they are also necessary. Without those moments, we wouldn't have the strength to grow. We wouldn't develop the wisdom to know the difference between what's real and what's fake. Without the challenge of betrayal, of disappointment, we wouldn't learn how to protect our hearts, how to keep our peace, and how to stand firm in our truth. Trusting the process of revelation means not panicking when things begin to unravel. It means not losing your head when the people you thought you could count on start to show their true colors. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's going to feel unfair. But what you need to understand is that this is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where you become stronger, wiser, and more equipped for the journey ahead. One of the hardest things to do when someone betrays you, when someone shows you who they really are, is to not immediately react out of anger, fear, or hurt. That's the natural response. We want to confront, we want to fight back, we want to make them see what they've done to us. But that's not the way. That's not how we trust the process. The process requires patience. It requires you to sit with your emotions, no matter how intense they may be, and give yourself the time to reflect on what's happening. Because in the silence, in that painful stillness, God will begin to speak to you. And when he speaks, he doesn't speak in anger or bitterness. He doesn't tell you to lash out or retaliate. No, he will speak in love and clarity and in truth. And he will show you that this process, the revelation of who people really are, the uncovering of the mask they've worn, is not something that should break you. It's something that should build you. It's something that's going to help you become the person you were always meant to be, the person you've been hiding beneath the pain and confusion. This revelation, as painful as it may seem, is the catalyst for your transformation. The reason why it's so hard to trust the process of revelation is because we often want things to happen on our own terms. We want to have control over when and how the truth is revealed. But God doesn't operate on our timelines. He operates on his. And sometimes he has to allow things to play out in the way they do, so that we can finally see what's been in front of us all along. There are some things that we just can't understand in the moment, but in due time we'll look back and see how everything was working together for our good. When the truth about someone comes to light, when you see how fake they were, it's easy to feel betrayed. It's easy to feel like you wasted time, like you gave parts of yourself to someone who didn't deserve it. But instead of dwelling on what you've lost, I want you to focus on what you've gained. You've gained wisdom. You've gained insight into who you truly are and what you truly need. You've gained the ability to see through the illusions, to recognize the difference between what's real and what's just a facade. God isn't just revealing the truth to hurt you. He's revealing it so you can be free. He's revealing it so you can let go of the things and even the people that were never meant to stay in your life. He's revealing it so you can stop holding on to things that were never meant for you, so you can stop giving your energy to things and people that will only drain you. There's a beauty in the revelation. It's not just about seeing who people truly are, but also about discovering who you truly are. Sometimes it takes a painful truth to bring out the real version of yourself, the version of you who doesn't need anyone's validation, the version of you who knows their worth and understands their value, the version of you who can stand strong even when the world around you is falling apart. So the process of revelation also helps you to redefine your boundaries. When you see how fake people can be, you'll learn how to protect your heart, your time, and your energy. You'll understand that not everyone deserves a seat at your table. You'll realize that your peace is far more valuable than someone's approval or someone's false promises. And when you trust the process, when you allow yourself to fully absorb the lessons that come with these revelations, you will become untouchable by the fake energy that once had a hold over you. It's easy to question why people act the way they do. It's easy to wonder why someone would betray you, lie to you, or act as if they care when they didn't. But the truth is, people act out of their own brokenness. They put on masks because they don't know how to be their authentic selves. They fake relationships because they are afraid of being vulnerable and real. But when you trust the process, you'll begin to see that their actions are more about them than about you. And the moment you realize that, the moment you understand that their betrayal was never a reflection of your worth, is the moment you can begin to heal. You may not be able to see it now, but God is doing something powerful in you through this revelation. He's shaping you. He's refining you. He's preparing you for something greater. So while the pain of betrayal might feel overwhelming, know this: it's only temporary. The strength you're gaining, the wisdom you're acquiring, the resilience you're building, all of that is permanent. And it will carry you through every challenge that comes your way. This revelation, as difficult as it may be, is just another chapter in your journey. You have to trust that it's all happening for a reason. You have to trust that God is revealing the truth, not to hurt you, but to elevate you. There's something deeply comforting and reassuring about the idea that God's timing is always perfect, even when everything around us seems uncertain. We live in a world that runs on speed and instant gratification, where we expect everything to happen quickly and according to our own schedules. We think that we should have what we want right now. We set our timelines, we make our plans, and when things don't unfold according to our expectations, we feel frustrated, anxious, and sometimes even defeated. But the truth is, when we step back and look at the bigger picture, we begin to realize that God's timing is never wrong. It's always right, even if we don't fully understand it in the moment. Think about the moments in your life when things didn't go according to plan. Maybe you lost a job, a relationship ended, or you didn't get an opportunity you thought you deserved. In those moments, it's easy to question everything. Why didn't things work out? Why wasn't I chosen? Why did I have to wait so long? Why did things happen the way they did? But in the midst of that confusion and pain, something deeper is happening. Even though it might not seem like it at the time, God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways that you may not yet understand. God's timing doesn't always align with our timing. We want things to happen right away, but often God knows that we need to wait. He knows that there are lessons for us to learn, growth that needs to happen, and preparation that needs to take place before we're truly ready to receive what He has for us. It's not that He's withholding something good from us. It's that He's waiting for us to be in the right place at the right time with the right heart. This doesn't mean that we won't experience disappointment or pain along the way. It doesn't mean that we won't face setbacks or struggles. What it does mean is that God is always working things out for our good, even when we can't see it. Imagine if you got everything you wanted the moment you wanted it. How many times in your life would that have truly been the best thing for you? How many times would you have been ill-prepared for what was coming, only to realize later on that the delay or the setback was what actually helped you grow into the person you needed to be? Maybe you've been waiting for a promotion or a new relationship or a breakthrough in some area of your life, and it hasn't happened yet. But in those moments, God is doing something in you. He is molding you. He is shaping you into the person who will be ready to step into the blessing He has prepared for you. In the Bible, we see countless examples of God's timing at work. One of the most prominent examples is the story of Joseph. Joseph was a young man with dreams of greatness, but those dreams didn't unfold the way he expected. Instead of being celebrated for his vision, he was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and thrown into prison. If anyone had a reason to question God's timing, it was Joseph. Yet throughout the years of hardship and struggle, God was working behind the scenes. Joseph's time in prison was not wasted. It was not a punishment, it was preparation. It was during this time that Joseph developed the wisdom, the resilience, and the faith needed to eventually rise to a position of leadership in Egypt, where he was able to save countless lives, including those of his own family. Joseph's story reminds us that God's timing is never early, never late, it's always right on time. The same can be said for every area of our lives. When we look back, we can see that every season, every struggle, every victory, and every setback had its purpose. God uses every moment of our lives to shape us, to refine us, and to prepare us for what lies ahead. Even when we don't understand why things are happening the way they are, we can trust that He is at work and that His timing is perfect. This is a hard truth to embrace when we're in the middle of waiting. Waiting can feel like the hardest part. We want to move forward. We want to see progress. We want the breakthrough to come already. But what we often forget is that waiting is not wasted time. Waiting is a part of the process. Waiting is where God works in us, building our patience, our faith, and our trust. Waiting is where we learn to surrender our timelines to God's, to let go of the need to control every outcome, and to trust that His way is better. There are moments in life when God seems silent, when we pray and we don't hear an answer, when we ask for direction and it seems like nothing is happening. But those moments of silence are not evidence that God has forgotten about us. They are opportunities for us to trust Him even more. It's in the quiet moments that we learn to lean not on our own understanding, but on His wisdom. It's in the times of uncertainty that we learn to trust God's plan, even when it's unclear. And think about the story of David. The young shepherd was anointed to be king. David was chosen by God to lead, but he didn't immediately step into that position. Instead, he spent years in the wilderness, facing rejection, running for his life, and waiting for God's perfect timing. David could have easily given up on the promise God had given him. He could have tried to force the outcome or take matters into his own hands, but he didn't. He trusted God's timing. And when the time was right, David became king and fulfilled the purpose that God had for him. We all want to be like David in the moments when we're facing struggles. We want to trust God with our timing and our future. But it's not always easy. We look at the people around us and see them moving ahead, getting their dreams fulfilled, stepping into the things they've prayed for. We wonder why we're still waiting. Why does it feel like everyone else is advancing while we're stuck? It's in those moments of comparison that we have to remind ourselves that God's timing is not our timing. Just because someone else is moving ahead doesn't mean we've been forgotten. Just because we haven't received what we've prayed for doesn't mean it isn't coming. Remember that God sees the whole picture. He sees what we cannot see. He understands what intricacies of our lives and our hearts. He knows exactly when we will be ready for the things we desire. And His timing is perfect because it's always aligned with His purpose for our lives. Sometimes the waiting period is about preparing us, strengthening us, and growing us into the people who are ready to receive His blessings. Other times it's about waiting for the right people, the right circumstances, or the right moment to align for the fulfillment of His plan. When we trust God's timing, we learn to let go of the pressure we put on ourselves. We stop trying to make things happen on our own and surrender our desires to God. We trust that He knows what's best for us, even when we can't see it. And in that trust, we find peace. Peace that comes from knowing that our lives are not random or out of control. They are part of a greater plan, a plan that is unfolding exactly as it should at the exact moment it needs to. God's timing is perfect. And when we learn to trust it, we allow ourselves to experience the fullness of His blessings, not on our timeline, but on His. There's a painful truth that many of us have to come to terms with at some point in life. Sometimes the people we love, the people we trust, and the people we've invested in will leave us. They will walk away and they will take pieces of our hearts with them. In those moments, it's easy to feel like something was wrong with us. like we weren't good enough or like we failed in some way. But the truth is, those people didn't leave you because you weren't enough. They didn't leave you because you did something wrong. The reality is, God made them go. When someone leaves, whether it's a friend, a partner, a family member, or anyone you've shared a part of your life with, the hurt can feel unbearable. You'll ask yourself over and over again why they left. You'll search for answers, looking for any sign that it wasn't you, that it wasn't your fault. You might even wonder what you could have done differently to make them stay. But what you have to understand is that sometimes God removes people from our lives, not because of something we did, but because He's preparing us for something better. He's protecting us from what we couldn't see, the things that would have hurt us in the long run, the things that weren't in line with His plan for us. It's hard to accept, especially when you're still in the midst of the pain. But God's love for you is far greater than any relationship or attachment you have to anyone else. He knows what's best for you. And sometimes what's best for you means letting go of people who are holding you back, who are draining your energy, or who aren't aligned with the purpose He has for your life. When someone walks away, it's not always because they don't love you or care about you. Sometimes it's because God has a greater plan that involves them leaving, even if you don't understand why at the moment. Think about the relationships in your life that have come and gone. Maybe you've had friends who were once close to you but faded away over time. Maybe a romantic relationship that seemed like it had so much potential ended suddenly. Maybe family members drifted apart for reasons you couldn't quite put your finger on. In those moments, it's tempting to feel like you've been abandoned or rejected. It's tempting to internalize the pain and wonder why you weren't enough to make them stay. But what you may not realize is that God knew what was coming. He knew that you were meant for something greater. And He knew that some people would only hold you back from walking into the fullness of your purpose. There's a divine timing in every relationship, and sometimes that timing simply comes to an end. It's not about you being unworthy. It's not about you being flawed. It's about God aligning your path with the people who are meant to walk alongside you in this season of your life. And when He removes someone, it's because He knows there's someone or something better waiting for you ahead. It's also important to recognize that God removes people not just because they're wrong for you, but because they might be wrong for the season you're in. You may have shared a deep connection with someone, but that doesn't mean they were meant to stay forever. People grow, people change, and sometimes we outgrow the people we thought we'd never live without. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you failed or that you've done something wrong. It simply means that God has something better for you. And sometimes the best way to receive what's better is by making space for it, by letting go of what's no longer serving you. It's also worth noting that not everyone who leaves you does so because they have bad intentions or because they're actively trying to hurt you. People leave for all sorts of reasons, many of which have nothing to do with you. Some people leave because they are going through their own struggles and don't know how to show up for you. Some leave because they are on their own journey of growth and healing. And part of that journey requires them to distance themselves from certain people. Others may leave because they can't see your worth or value, and that's not something you can control. What you can control, however, is how you respond to their departure. When people leave, it's easy to spiral into self-doubt. We start to question our worth, wondering if we did something to drive them away. We think, what's wrong with me? But the reality is, nothing is wrong with you. You didn't do anything wrong. The truth is that sometimes God removes people from your life because they're not meant to be part of your future. And this isn't just a matter of them being bad people, it's about the fact that they may no longer be aligned with your purpose, your growth, or your journey. It's about the fact that, for whatever reason, your paths are no longer meant to cross. You may never get the answers you're looking for. You may never understand why someone left, especially if they left without any explanation. But trust that God knows what He's doing. He knows that sometimes the only way for you to grow, to evolve, and to step into your destiny is by having certain people exit your life. And even though it might hurt, even though it might feel like a loss, it's really a form of protection. God's love for you is so great that He won't allow you to stay stuck in relationships that are draining your energy or preventing you from becoming the person you were always meant to be. There's a reason why certain people leave your life when they do. It's not by accident, and it's not because you did something wrong. It's because God is creating space for new relationships to enter your life, relationships that will support you, uplift you, and align with the person you are becoming. It's also because God is teaching you to stand on your own, to find your strength in Him, and to trust that you don't need anyone else to complete you. You are whole, you are enough, and you are loved by a God who will never leave you. Even in the pain of someone leaving, there's a lesson to be learned. The lesson is not that you weren't good enough. The lesson is that you are capable of moving forward. You are capable of healing. You are capable of finding peace even in the midst of loss. And you are capable of trusting that God's plan for your life is far greater than any relationship or attachment that might have to be left behind. Sometimes we get so caught up in wanting to hold on to the people who leave us that we forget to look forward to the people who are on their way. God's plan for your life is so much bigger than the people who walk away from it. The people who leave weren't meant to stay. They were part of a chapter in your story, but not the whole story. And when God makes them go, it's because He knows that there's someone else, someone better, someone who is more aligned with the person you are becoming, someone who will help you fulfill your purpose. So when someone leaves, don't look at it as a loss. Look at it as a redirection. God is redirecting your steps, realigning your path, and preparing you for the next phase of your journey. Trust that He knows what He's doing. Trust that His love for you is so great that He will never allow you to stay stuck in something that isn't meant for you. When people leave, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a sign that God is making space for something better, something greater, something that will help you become the person you were always meant to be. Betrayal is one of the most excruciating experiences a person can go through. When someone you trust, someone you love, or someone you've invested your time and energy into turns their back on you, the hurt cuts deeper than you could ever expect. It feels as though your foundation has crumbled beneath you, your heart shattered, and your world turned upside down. In those moments, it's easy to question everything yourself, your choices, your worth, and even your faith. How could someone who claimed to care about you hurt you so deeply? How could someone you trusted be the one to betray you? But here's the truth: the pain of betrayal, as much as it hurts, can be the very seed of your growth. The truth is that growth often comes from the most difficult and painful experiences of life. We tend to think that growth happens in times of comfort and moments of peace, and when everything is going according to plan. But real growth, the kind that transforms us and strengthens our character, often emerges from the ashes of our pain. Betrayal, though it may feel like an insurmountable wound, has the power to shape us in ways we never imagined. It's in those dark, painful moments when we're forced to look inward and confront our deepest fears, our vulnerabilities, and our insecurities. It's in those moments when we are stripped of everything we thought we knew that we begin to discover the strength we never knew we had. Think about the times in your life when you've been hurt by someone you trusted. Maybe it was a friend who turned on you, a partner who lied, or a family member who betrayed you. The pain in those moments feels unbearable, and you may wonder how you can ever heal from such a deep wound. But in that very pain, God is working something in you. He's using that betrayal as a tool to refine you, to build your character, and to bring you closer to the person you are meant to be. The pain of betrayal is not just something to endure, it's something to learn from. It's something that has the potential to push you toward greater wisdom, greater self-awareness, and greater resilience. The process of healing after betrayal is never easy, but it's necessary. When we experience betrayal, we are forced to confront certain realities about ourselves and the world around us. We begin to see that not everyone we trust will remain loyal. Not everyone we love will treat us the way we deserve to be treated. This can be a painful realization, but it's also a powerful one. It's a realization that helps us understand the importance of setting boundaries, of protecting our hearts, and of discerning who we allow into our lives. The pain of betrayal teaches us to be more discerning, more cautious, and more intentional with the people we surround ourselves with. But beyond the lessons about other people, betrayal also teaches us powerful lessons about ourselves. In the midst of that pain, we are forced to ask ourselves some difficult questions. How did we allow this person into our lives in the first place? Why didn't we see the signs? What part of ourselves do we need to heal in order to avoid being hurt again? These questions are not easy to answer, but they are necessary for our growth. Betrayal forces us to take a hard look at our own vulnerabilities, our own tendencies, and our own patterns of behavior. It challenges us to heal from the inside out, to become more self-aware, and to take responsibility for our own growth. And in this process of self-discovery, we begin to understand something crucial. We are not defined by the betrayal. We are not defined by the actions of others. We are defined by how we respond to those actions. The pain of betrayal can either consume us or propel us forward. We have the power to choose how we react to the hurt. We can choose to let it break us, or we can choose to let it shape us. We can choose to let it make us stronger, more compassionate, and more empathetic. We can choose to let it deepen our faith and our trust in God, knowing that He has a purpose for everything we go through, even the painful moments. Betrayal also has the power to teach us about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about excusing the behavior of the person who hurt us. It's not about pretending that what happened didn't matter. Forgiveness is about freeing ourselves from the chains of anger, bitterness, and resentment. It's about choosing to let go of the weight of that betrayal, not for the sake of the person who hurt us, but for our own sake. When we hold on to the pain of betrayal, we allow it to fester and poison our hearts. But when we choose to forgive, we allow ourselves to heal. We allow ourselves to move forward, free from the burden of carrying that pain with us. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It means choosing to not let it define us. It means choosing to let go of the past and embrace the future that God has for us. It's important to recognize that forgiveness is a process. It's not something that happens overnight. Healing takes time, and it's okay to grieve the hurt. It's okay to feel the pain. But even in the midst of that pain, we can choose to move toward healing. We can choose to trust that God is with us in every step of that journey, that He is using this pain to shape us into the people He created us to be. The pain of betrayal, though excruciating, can be the soil in which forgiveness takes root and growth begins. It's in those moments of pain and heartache that we begin to understand the true power of forgiveness and how it frees us to move forward with peace, joy, and a renewed sense of purpose. Another powerful lesson that betrayal teaches us is the importance of resilience. Betrayal tests our ability to bounce back from adversity. It challenges us to keep going when everything inside of us wants to give up. But it's in those moments of challenge that we discover the strength we didn't know we had. We learn that we are capable of enduring much more than we thought. We learn that we can overcome even the deepest hurts and emerge stronger on the other side. The pain of betrayal doesn't have to be the end of the story. It can be the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where we rise from the ashes stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next phase of our journey. Resilience doesn't mean we never feel pain or disappointment. It means we don't let those things stop us. It means we keep moving forward even when it feels impossible. And over time, the more we practice resilience, the stronger we become. Betrayal may have caused us to stumble, but it doesn't have to keep us down. We have the power to rise, to heal, and to grow. Lastly, the pain of betrayal teaches us to trust God more deeply. When people let us down, it can shake our faith in humanity. It can make us question whether anyone can truly be trusted. But the reality is we can't put our trust in people alone. People will fail us, but God never will. Betrayal reminds us of the importance of placing our trust in God above all else. He is the one constant in our lives. He is the one who will never leave us or forsake us. When people fail us, God is still there, working in us and through us. He is using every experience, even the painful ones, to refine us, to grow us, and to draw us closer to Him. The pain of betrayal can be the catalyst for a deeper, more trusting relationship with God, a relationship that isn't based on circumstances, but on the unshakable truth of His love and faithfulness. The pain of betrayal is undeniably difficult. It can feel like the world has been turned upside down and your heart is left in pieces. But in that pain, there is also an opportunity for growth. God uses betrayal to refine us, to teach us about ourselves, to strengthen our faith, and to help us become the people He created us to be. The pain, though it hurts, can be the seed of your growth. It can be the beginning of a journey toward healing, resilience, and transformation. And as you heal, you will find that the pain of betrayal no longer has the power to define you. It has the power to propel you into the next chapter of your life, one that is filled with wisdom, strength, and a deeper understanding of the person you are becoming. One of the most challenging things we often face in life is the pressure to fit in, to be liked, and to surround ourselves with as many people as possible. Society often tells us that the more friends we have, the more successful we are, the more loved we must be. It's easy to get caught up in this idea that our worth is determined by how many people surround us, how many likes or comments we receive, and how many people claim to be our friends. But the truth is, you don't need everyone, you need the right people. This concept might seem foreign to some, especially in a world that places so much value on popularity, numbers, and social approval. But when you really take a step back and reflect, You begin to realize that the quantity of people in your life doesn't matter as much as the quality of the relationships you have. Having a circle of a few trusted people who genuinely care about you, support you, and help you grow is far more valuable than having hundreds of acquaintances who don't truly understand you or your purpose. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of pleasing everyone, but doing so only leads to exhaustion and disillusionment. The truth is, not everyone is meant to be in your life. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support your dreams. Not everyone will treat you with the respect you deserve. And that's okay. You don't need everyone. What you need is a small group of people who align with your values, your vision, and your journey. People who will lift you up, challenge you, and be there for you when life gets tough. When we constantly try to please everyone, we lose sight of who we are and what we need. We get so caught up in seeking validation from others that we forget to look inward and listen to our own hearts. We start to live for the approval of others rather than for the fulfillment of our own purpose. But when you understand that you don't need everyone, you are freed from the burden of trying to please people who don't truly matter. You start to prioritize your own well-being and your own growth over the opinions of those who don't truly have your best interests at heart. The right people are the ones who understand your dreams, who see your potential, and who are committed to supporting you on your journey. These are the people who don't just celebrate your successes, but also stand by you in your struggles. They are the ones who encourage you when you feel like giving up, who push you to be the best version of yourself, and who help you stay grounded when everything around you feels chaotic. These are the people who make you feel like you can conquer the world, not because they are flattering you, but because they truly believe in your abilities. Having the right people in your life also means having people who are not afraid to tell you the truth, even when it's hard to hear. The right people are the ones who will challenge you, hold you accountable, and help you grow even when it's uncomfortable. They are the ones who will love you enough to tell you when you're heading down the wrong path, who will push you to confront your weaknesses, and who will encourage you to become the person you are meant to be. They are not just there for the good times, but for the difficult moments as well. And they will walk with you through the storms of life. The wrong people, on the other hand, will drain you. They will take more than they give, leaving you feeling exhausted, discouraged, and undervalued. They will demand your time and energy without offering anything in return. They will criticize you behind your back, tear you down when you're struggling, and leave you feeling empty. These are the people who don't truly care about your growth or your well-being. They are only interested in what they can get from you. And though it may be painful to admit, you don't need these people in your life. One of the hardest things to do is to let go of the wrong people. It can feel like a loss, especially if they've been in your life for a long time, or if they've held a special place in your heart. But the truth is, holding on to people who don't serve your growth or align with your purpose only keeps you stuck. It prevents you from making room for the right people who can help you out. It's like trying to fill your life with light while holding on to a bunch of dead weight. You can't move forward if you're still clinging to people who are holding you back. Letting go of the wrong people can be difficult, but it's one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. When you clear out the toxic relationships in your life, you make room for the people who truly care about you and who will help you grow. You create space for new relationships that will inspire, support, and challenge you in positive ways. And as you start to surround yourself with the right people, you begin to feel more confident, more at peace, and more aligned with your true self. One of the key benefits of having the right people in your life is that they help you stay grounded in your purpose. It's easy to get distracted by the opinions of others or to lose sight of your goals when you're surrounded by people who don't understand or support your dreams. But when you have the right people in your life, they will remind you of who you are and why you're here. They will encourage you to stay focused on your goals and to keep pushing forward even when the journey gets tough. They will remind you that your purpose is bigger than any temporary setback or failure, and that you have everything within you to achieve the life you desire. The right people will also help you celebrate your victories, no matter how big or small. They will be the ones cheering you on, celebrating with you, and acknowledging your hard work and accomplishments. They won't feel threatened by your success. Instead, they will be genuinely happy for you. These are the people who will lift you up and make you feel seen and appreciated. They will remind you that your success is not a reflection of their own shortcomings, but a testament to your strength, perseverance, and dedication. In contrast, the wrong people will often be jealous or resentful of your success. They will try to tear you down or minimize your achievements because they are threatened by your progress. These people may smile in your face, but deep down they wish they could take your place. They may try to sabotage your efforts, spread negativity, or undermine your confidence. And while it may be hard to recognize this behavior at first, once you do, you'll understand just how important it is to distance yourself from these people. Their negativity only holds you back from reaching your full potential. The right people in your life are those who will help you grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. They will challenge you to think differently, to be more compassionate, and to be more mindful of your actions. They will help you see the world in a different light, encouraging you to step outside of your comfort zone and embrace new opportunities. They will inspire you to live with purpose, passion, and authenticity, and they will hold you accountable to becoming the best version of yourself. The right people will also help you stay true to yourself. It's easy to get lost in the opinions and expectations of others, but when you surround yourself with the right people, they will encourage you to stay grounded in your values, your beliefs, and your vision for your life. They will remind you that you don't need to change who you are to fit in or to please others. You are enough just as you are. And the right people will love you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. So, as you move forward in life, remember this: you don't need everyone. You don't need to chase after popularity or approval. You don't need to surround yourself with people who don't serve your growth or your purpose. What you need are the right people, the ones who will support you, challenge you, love you, and help you become the person you were always meant to be. And when you find those people, hold on to them, invest in those relationships, and cherish them. Because in the end, it's not about the quantity of people in your life. It's about the quality of the relationships that truly matter. In life, there will always be those who offer you love, but without the sincerity that true love embodies. We encounter these individuals along our journeys in various forms: friends, family, acquaintances, or even strangers. They will show you kindness, offer you compliments, and seemingly care for you when it benefits them. But beneath the surface, this love is hollow. It is not rooted in genuine care. It is not founded on respect. And it certainly isn't unconditional. Instead, it is often motivated by selfish desires, insecurity, or a desire to control or manipulate. Fake love can hurt, deceive, and disappoint you, but the one thing it can never do is touch the authenticity of your soul. Fake love might appear sweet at first, drawing you in with its promises and sweet words, but once you scratch the surface, you realize it was never truly meant to nourish you or build you up. It's easy to be fooled by people who say the right things at the right time, who present themselves as supportive, caring, or affectionate, but true love goes beyond words. It's about action, consistency, and a deep respect for who you truly are. Fake love is fragile. It's shallow. It's conditional. And no matter how much it may try to disguise itself as something genuine, it will always be exposed for what it truly is. One of the hardest aspects of fake love is how it can manipulate and mislead you. It can make you believe that you are loved, cherished, and appreciated, when in reality you are merely being used for someone else's benefit. It can make you question your self-worth, especially when it comes from someone you trust or someone you desire to be loved by. When someone who claims to love you acts in ways that don't align with the essence of love by being deceitful, manipulative, or controlling, it creates confusion. You begin to wonder what you did wrong, why you're not enough, or why they're treating you this way. But the truth is, fake love isn't about you. It's about the emptiness inside the person offering it. It's about their insecurities and their inability to offer real, unconditional love. When faced with fake love, it's easy to get caught up in the hurt. You might find yourself trying to prove your worth, doing things to please others, or adjusting yourself to fit into their expectations, all in the name of love. You start to believe that if you just act a certain way, say the right things, or meet the right conditions, the fake love will become real. But it doesn't work that way. No matter how much you bend, twist, and change yourself to fit someone else's idea of who you should be, it will never create true love. Fake love is like a mask. It can be worn for a while, but it will always slip off eventually, revealing its emptiness. True love doesn't require you to change who you are. It doesn't ask you to prove your worth, because real love is based on acceptance, understanding, and the willingness to grow together. What's important to understand is that you are never defined by someone else's fake love. The love that others show you does not determine your value. Fake love may be deceitful, but it cannot touch the authenticity of your soul. The love that is meant for you, the real, unconditional, unwavering love, comes from within. It starts with your own belief in your worth, your own respect for who you are, and your own understanding of the power of your authenticity. When you know who you are and love yourself for who you are, the fake love of others cannot reach you. It bounces off because it has no ground to stand on. It has no root, no foundation in your life, because you are grounded in something much deeper, the truth of your being. Fake love tries to feed off your insecurity, your doubt, and your longing for acceptance. It preys on the part of you that fears rejection or believes that love can only come from others. But real love is not dependent on external validation. Real love comes from within. And when you are rooted in your own truth, the fake love of others cannot affect your peace or sense of self-worth. It can be hurtful, yes. It can be disappointing, yes. But it will never have the power to steal your authenticity unless you let it. Fake love can take many forms. It can come from a person who only loves you when it's convenient for them, or from someone who demands your love and loyalty while offering you none in return. It can come from people who manipulate you emotionally, using guilt or shame to control you, or from individuals who pretend to care but have no real interest in your well-being. It can also manifest as superficial affection, where people show you love only to gain something from you, whether it's validation, resources, or a sense of power. The key thing to remember in all of these situations is that real love is not transactional, it's unconditional. It doesn't come with strings attached, and it doesn't ask for anything in return. When fake love touches your life, it often brings confusion, pain, and frustration. It causes you to doubt yourself, to question your worth, and to wonder whether true love even exists. You might find yourself holding on to the hope that if you just endure a little longer, if you just try harder, if you just love them enough, the fake love will eventually turn real. But real love is not something you can force, manipulate, or earn by giving up parts of yourself. It's not about giving and giving until you have nothing left. True love is about mutual respect, mutual care, and mutual understanding. It's about two people who are willing to show up for each other, not out of obligation, but out of a desire to truly connect. The authenticity of your soul, the real essence of who you are, cannot be touched by fake love because it is rooted in something far more powerful: your connection to God, to your own truth, and to the love that flows naturally from within you. When you are in tune with who you are and what you stand for, fake love becomes insignificant. It may sting in the moment, it may cause temporary hurt, but it cannot alter your core being. Your authenticity is like a shield, protecting you from the insincerity of others and allowing you to walk through life with strength, dignity, and confidence. One of the most empowering things you can do when you encounter fake love is to recognize it for what it is. Don't be fooled by its superficial appearance. Don't get lost in the illusion of affection that is offered only when it benefits the other person. Recognize that the love you seek is not something that can be bought or manipulated. It's not something that can be manipulated by the words of another, by their empty promises, or by their manipulative tactics. The love you seek is one that can only be offered by those who are genuine, authentic, and true to themselves. When you let go of the need to please others or to chase after love that isn't real, you open yourself up to the authentic relationships that are meant for you. You allow yourself to receive love that is real, that is grounded in mutual respect, understanding, and care. You become open to experiencing the deep connection that comes when two souls meet in truth, vulnerability, and love. And most importantly, you become free from the need for external validation. You begin to realize that you don't need anyone else to complete you or to make you feel whole. You are already complete as you are, and the love that comes your way will only amplify the beauty that already exists within you. Fake love may try to pull you down, deceive you, and make you feel small, but it will never reach the depths of your soul. The authenticity of who you are is too strong, too grounded, and too pure to be touched by something that is fake. Embrace your authenticity. Stand firm in who you are. Let your true self shine through, and know that the right love will come to you, not because you need it, but because it is a natural extension of your authenticity. Fake love may try to deceive, but it can never touch the truth of who you are. And when you embrace that truth, you'll find that you are more than enough just as you are. The truth is often something we avoid, something we resist, and something we fear. It can be difficult to face because it challenges our comfort zones. It forces us to confront the parts of ourselves or our lives that we'd rather ignore. But despite the discomfort it may cause, the truth is one of the most powerful forces in our lives. It has the ability to heal, to transform, and to guide us toward a future we may never have imagined. Yes, the truth may hurt, but it will never steer you wrong. When we're faced with the truth, it can feel like an emotional earthquake. It shakes the foundation of our beliefs, our relationships, and our sense of security. It brings everything into question. Why did I trust that person? Why did I believe that lie? Why didn't I see it coming These are the questions that arise when the truth comes into our lives, especially if it's something that we didn't want to acknowledge. We may feel betrayed, disillusioned, and hurt. But the truth has a unique ability. It forces us to grow. It forces us to look deeper within ourselves and find the strength to move forward. We've all had moments where we've had to face hard truths, whether it's realizing that a relationship we invested so much in was not what we thought it was, or discovering that the dreams we've worked so hard for are not aligned with our true purpose. The truth can hit us like a ton of bricks. But despite the hurt, it has the power to set us free. It strips away the illusions, the fantasies, and the expectations we've built. And it allows us to see things for what they truly are. This kind of clarity can be painful, but it's also incredibly liberating. Once the truth comes to light, we no longer have to waste our energy on false beliefs or relationships that don't serve us. The truth helps us make decisions from a place of real understanding, not from a place of denial or self-deception. The hardest part of accepting the truth is that it doesn't always align with what we want or what we hope for. We want to believe in the goodness of people and the fairness of the world and in the dreams we've been chasing. But the truth isn't concerned with what we wish for, it's concerned with what is real. It doesn't care about our fantasies or our idealized versions of reality. The truth simply is. And sometimes that means facing the fact that the person we trusted has let us down, or that the job we thought was our calling isn't actually fulfilling us. Sometimes it means realizing that a chapter in our life has come to a close and we need to step into the unknown. In those moments, it's easy to feel discouraged or defeated. It's tempting to ignore the truth, to suppress it, or to try to run away from it. But doing so only prolongs the pain and delays the inevitable. When we refuse to face the truth, we allow ourselves to stay trapped in a situation that isn't right for us. We waste time, energy, and resources on things that aren't meant for us, all because we're afraid to confront what's real. But the longer we avoid the truth, the longer we delay our growth and our healing. It's like trying to walk through life with a weight around our necks, one that we can't see, but that weighs us down nonetheless. The truth is the only thing that can cut through that weight and set us free. Facing the truth isn't just about seeing things clearly, it's also about taking responsibility for our own actions. The truth may reveal to us the ways in which we have contributed to our own struggles, the ways in which we have been complicit in our own pain. It may shine a light on the mistakes we've made, the people we've hurt, or the times we've neglected our own needs. And while it can be painful to admit these truths to ourselves, it is also empowering, because once we acknowledge the truth, we can begin to take ownership of our lives. We can make the changes necessary to move forward, to heal, and to grow. The truth doesn't just show us what is wrong, it shows us how to make things right. One of the most powerful aspects of the truth is that it has the ability to guide us, even when it's painful. We may not understand it right away, and it may not make sense in the moment, but the truth always has a purpose. It's like a compass that points us in the right direction, even when we can't see the path ahead. Sometimes we need to go through the pain of facing the truth in order to learn the lessons we need to learn. We need to experience the discomfort of shedding old beliefs, old habits, and old relationships in order to step into a new phase of our lives. The truth forces us to grow up, to be real with ourselves, and to make decisions that are in alignment with our true selves. Even when the truth hurts, it never leads us astray. It may feel uncomfortable, even devastating, but it's never out to harm us. The truth is always working in our favor, even when we can't see it. It's pushing us to evolve, to expand, and to become more of who we are meant to be. In those moments when the truth feels like too much to bear, it's important to remember that it's not the end, it's the beginning of something new. The truth may close a door, but it always opens a new one. It may ask us to let go of something or someone we thought we couldn't live without, but it also paves the way for something far greater. And as we navigate the pain of facing the truth, we also begin to understand that the truth is not something that we should fear, it's something that we should embrace. The truth brings us closer to our authentic selves. It clears away the confusion and distractions that keep us from seeing who we really are. It helps us understand our purpose, our values, and our desires. The truth doesn't just show us what's wrong in our lives, it shows us what's right, what's possible, and what's worth fighting for. There's a certain kind of strength that comes from embracing the truth. It's the strength to face reality no matter how hard it is. It's the strength to look at the pieces of our lives and say, this is what I have. This is where I am. And now I'm going to make it better. The truth gives us the clarity and confidence we need to move forward no matter what obstacles we face. It teaches us resilience, patience, and faith. When we trust the truth, we begin to trust ourselves more deeply. We begin to trust our ability to navigate the challenges that come our way, knowing that as long as we remain connected to what is real, we will always find our way. The truth may hurt, but it's the only thing that can truly set us free. It may challenge our beliefs, our plans, and our expectations, but it also brings us closer to our highest potential. When we embrace the truth, we stop living in fear of what might happen, and we start living in faith of what will be. We stop holding on to things that are not meant for us, and we start making space for the things that are. The truth may sting in the moment, but over time, we will come to realize that it was the best thing that ever happened to us. Because the truth, no matter how painful, will always lead us to where we need to go. Stay focused, stay strong, and never let anyone's deception dim your light. God will show you the truth, and He'll guide you toward the people who will help you shine even brighter.